Now, today we shall look at the different ways of adding text. Okay, let's wait a bit. Let's wait a bit. We won't need this. We won't need this. Now today we shall look at the different ways of adding text to a web page. Now there are different tags that we can use to add text to a web page. Now we can add the text as headings, you can add the text as a paragraph, as a preformatted text tag, as a list where we have the ordered and the unordered list. We can also add the text as a definition list. Now let us look at those main ways. They're not the only ones that are available, but they're the main ones that people use in websites. Now, as I've said, the first one is the heading tags, where we have headings from level 1 up to level 6. Of course, up to level 6. Now, they are big from, the texts are large from heading 1, and then they get smaller as we move to what? Heading 6. In the middle we have H2, 3, 4, and 5. Now the next type of tag, we have the paragraph tag. Paragraph tag, which is used to add paragraphs to a web page. That is the paragraph tag. The next one, we have the list tag. We have the list tag. Now in the list tag we have the ordered list and the unordered list. Now we shall look at both of them, both the ordered and the unordered one. Now the next one, of course, we have the preformatted tag, the preformatted text, which we are going to include inside the preformatted tag. Then we also have tags for including definition. So we have a term and then we'll define it. This one will fall under the definition list tag. Now we are going to look at it in more detail. Now first of all, let us get to the heading tags. We'll say this is heading 1. Then we'll say this is heading 2. Then we'll display this is heading 3. Then we'll display this is heading 4. Then we'll display this is heading 5. Then the next one will display is this is heading 6. Now let us see how they look like. So if I reload my page, as you can see, H1 tags give us heading that is larger than all the other tags. Then H6 gives us what? H6 gives us the smallest level of heading. Now the next type of tag, as I've said, is the paragraph tag. Now the paragraph tag is used to include paragraphs in your web page. So I'll use the dummy text to run it soon. Now the paragraph tag, they are not formatted the same way they appear in your web page, but you shall see sharp contrast with them. preformatted tag. Now let us reload the page. As you can see, it doesn't appear the way it appears at text, but we use the paragraph tag to display text. Now the next one is the preformatted tag. And the preformatted tag is also used to display text as though it's text that looks like that in a paragraph. But the only difference between the preformatted text and the paragraph tag is that with the preformatted text, the text will appear the same way they appear inside your code, and then they'll appear as though they are typewritten text. Let us see. Now, as you can see, they will appear the same way they appear inside our code. Now the next type of tag for displaying text, of course, is the unordered list tag. Now the unordered list tag has a tag inside known as the li, which stands for list item. So we have an ordered list, and then the unordered list, we nest the list items inside them. So we'll have list item 1. Let's add at least 3 of them. And then we'll have list item 2. Then of course we'll have list item 3. Now let us load the page and look at them. As you can see, they come in a list, and then the default is what? Are these bullets? I think they're bullets. Now the next thing about this tag is that we can change the type from bullets to another one. Let's look at disk is the default. Now we also have the circle. Let us look at how the circle looks like. As you can see, the format becomes a little bit different. Then you also have the square. Let's look at how the square looks like. As you can see, the square, it is square dots used to represent the different items. And the next type of tag is the ordered list tag. Now the ordered list tag also works somewhat similarly to the ordered list, in that we nest the items inside the ordered list. Now the ordered list, we can have the type also. First of all, let us look at its default. So by default, the numbering is through numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 upwards. Now we can change the numbering. To change the numbering, we come inside the OL tag, the beginning OL tag, and then we can change them to either of this option. If I use A, let us see what happens. You see, changes the orders, it changes the numbering to the letters. You can also choose a capital letter. Let us see how it looks like. As you can see, it takes that format. We can also use Roman numerals. As you can see, it has taken the Roman numerals. We also use, do we have like capital Roman numerals? Maybe. Capital Roman numerals, if such a term really exists. Now there is another attribute of the OL tag. It's called the start. It specifies where to start, which numbering to start with the ordering it. So if I add like 4, of course my elements are not going to start from 1, they'll start from 4. So let me reload. As you can see, they start from number 4. Now the next type of tag is the definition list. Now the definition list also nests 2 tags. Now the first tag it's going to nest is the definition term, the term we want to define. Let's say like CSS. And then we'll have the definition. And the definition, of course, is cascading style sheet. So if we reload, see what happens. We get the term we want to define and the definition. As you can see, they come inside what? The definition list tag. So we'll have the definition term and the definition. Now let me add another one. Now I'm going to add HTML. Of course, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Hypertext markup language. So let us reload, see what happens. As you can see, there are some ways of adding text to what? A web page. We can have the heading tags, which starts from H1 to H6. We can have the paragraph tag. We can have the preformatted tag. We can have the list tag, which has the ordered list and the unordered list, and then we can have the definition tags. Thank you.